What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? It's bread and butter time. It's NHL time. Breaking down Friday, January 22nd NHL card for odds.com. Thank you for joining me. And I'm playing for keeps today. I want to make some money. I'm 9-10, hitting at 47.4% plus 0.52 units, ROI plus 2.74%, average line plus 136. I came out of the gates hot. I've given the money back. This record is not good enough. I want to get paid. Let's go. 5 games on my card. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern. New York Rangers at Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm on the Rangers -1. Let's pull up the market moves just so everybody is on the same page. I've already locked in my lines. Here we go. For the Rangers-Penguins game, the Rangers total is at 6.5. That hasn't really moved. It's slightly juiced to the over. The Rangers open up at plus 138 or even 140. They're down to plus 125. I locked them in at plus 130 on the money line, but I took them on the -1 line. I got 130 on the money line and plus 390 on the alternate -1.5 line. With my puck line calculator, that works out to a plus 277 on the Rangers. They're 1-2 on the season. This is their first road game of the year at the Penguins, who are 2-2, and the Penguins are 2-0 at home. We'll start with the Rangers. After losing to the Islanders 4-0 to open up the season, they bounced back beautifully. They won 5-0 in impressive fashion. Then they felt good about themselves for a couple days, actually 3 nights, and were left vulnerable when they played the New Jersey Devils as favorites. They lose 4-3. That was on Tuesday night. Now they've had 2 nights to sit in that defeat. While I question the quality of their defense, their offense has a ton of skill and quite a bit of depth. Artemi Panarin and Pavel Buchnevich have started the year strong. They have 2 goals and 2 assists each. Mika Zibanejad is dealing with both upper body and lower body injuries, but David Quinn believes he's ready to go, and he's a key cog as a number 1 line centerman on this team. Capo Caco, Chris Kreider have found the goal sheet and will produce more. Number 1 overall pick Alexis Lafreniere has yet to find the score sheet, but you know that's coming. I expect the Rangers to get better as the season goes on and to impress when challenged. When they feel good about themselves, they might be a fade. But when they get challenged, when they play upper echelon teams, I expect them to step up and lead. And I think this is a great spot for them to rise up because the Pittsburgh Penguins are perennial top team in the NHL. But the depth is no longer there. Geno Malkin does not look good so far this year. It's Sidney Crosby and little else. While I always will believe in Sid, I don't believe in the rest of the roster. I think they will often be vulnerable favorites. Sidney Crosby's been good to start the season, 5 points in 4 games. Geno has just 1 goal, 0 assists in 4 games. They also lost defenseman Marcus Pettersson and Juuso Riikola, and that will test an already suspect defense. They're coming off back-to-back home wins versus the Capitals on Sunday and Tuesday. They feel good about themselves. I believe it's a nice opportunity to fade them for a giant score. They've also played the 4 straight overs, and while that may continue, I'm staying off the total. I get my card started with the New York Rangers on the -1 line at plus 277. We move on. 8 p.m. Eastern. Detroit Red Wings at Chicago Blackhawks. These Detroit Red Wings open up at plus 115. You can get them at 115. They're also 120 at some spots. The total in this Red Wings Blackhawks game opened at 6 and hasn't really moved. There's been a 2 or 3 cent move offshore to the under, but a small move. I locked in the Red Wings on the -1 line. I got plus 249. That was a plus 115 money line and a plus 365 puck line. The Red Wings are 2-2 on the season. This is their first road game. They're at the Chicago Blackhawks, 0-3-1. This is the Blackhawks' first home game. We're at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, 8 p.m. Eastern. The Red Wings play hard for Blashill, their coach. I expect that to continue. I respect him as a coach, and I do think with Yzerman at the helm, Jeff Blashill as the coach, this team will get better. It may take them a bit of time, but they will get better. They may need another lottery pick. They haven't had much luck in the lottery, but they're going to improve. They're coming off splitting a 2-game series with the Blue Jackets at home Monday and Tuesday. They split up their top line of Larkin, Bertuzzi, and Mantha. They placed one of each on their top 3 lines. I think that move makes sense. Bobby Ryan's off the bottle and seems invigorated. He's got a chance to get his career back on track. And 4 goals in 3 games. I see this team fighting to get better, and I see their opponent giving in. The Blackhawks are giving in, going for the number 1 overall pick. Now, there may come a time, 15 or 20 games into the season, when the Red Wings also give in. But right now, there's hope in that dressing room. They're 2-2, and I expect a lot of fight from them. The Blackhawks have lost the first 4 games of the season, and more coming. They're coming off being swept by Columbus at home on Monday and Tuesday. They don't have Johnny Taves, a.k.a. Captain Serious, to keep everybody accountable and keep everybody fighting. They don't have 2019 number 3 overall pick, 6'4" sniper Kirby Dach. That injury stings. Carl Soderberg has finished his 7-day quarantine. He may be able to help this very weak group of center icemen. Center Zach Smith was placed on IR last week. So is defenseman Brent Seabrook. This is a very soft team, an easy team to play against. Now, they can still score. Pat Kane, they got Kubalik, DeBrincat. They can score, but they have little else. They're easy to play against. They are small. Detroit Red Wings -1 at +249 for a big score. We roll on. 8 p.m. Eastern. San Jose Sharks at Minnesota Wild. Pull this up right now. This total opened up at 5.5 at a pick'em. It is now juiced to the over. The money line here opened up at +133. It's now at +145 to +155. I got the San Jose Sharks at +150 on the money line. And on the alternative puck line, +425. Look at that. My goodness. That is just a monstrous. +150 and 425 is huge. It gives you a +315 line. +315 on the -1. That is absolutely beautiful. We're at Xcel Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. Sharks are 2-2. They played their first 4 games on the road. Minnesota Wild's 3-0. They played their first 4 games on the road, and they're coming back home. Those of you who've capped with me for a while know that I love fading a team after a very positive road trip in their first game back home. I also like teams that start out on the road. Gives you a chance to get your team together, unite, build some chemistry. Away from everybody, just with your team. And especially right now with COVID going on outside, there's nowhere to go except practice and stick with your team. I think this is a really nice spot for the San Jose Sharks. They're coming off earning a road split against Arizona. They followed that up with another road split against St. Louis. They're better than the market is giving them credit for. Their power play is dangerous. They have high-end talent. Thomas Hertl has opened up with 6 points in 4 games. Logan Couture and Evander Kane have 4 points each. This is a team that can reward us at times as a big dog. And I think the Wild are overvalued right now after a 3-1 start against weak competition, the Kings and the Ducks. They're coming off a successful road trip. Perfect. That first line of Parise, Rask, and Kaprizov is ranked as the 27th best first line in hockey. I don't know how this team is going to score enough to instill fear in anybody. Is Victor Rask a first-line centerman? Is Nick Bonino a second-line centerman? I think the answer to both those questions is no. Cam Talbot is off to a good start. How long is that going to last? Matt Zuccarello remains out of the lineup. Dean Evason is a really good coach, a coach that I trust. But do you want to bet them as big favorites? They have a strong defense, sure. Good coach, strong defense. Big favorites? No. They will be decent dogs. They're going to be good for unders. But I'm going to back the Sharks here to keep rolling. You've got players like Evander Kane, who is filed bankruptcy, millions and millions of dollars in debt. Right now, he gets to hang with the boys, get his head away from all of that bullshit, and play hockey. And he's played pretty well to start the year. Bobby Ryan gets off the bottle, sticks with the boys, and gets his good start to his season. Look, if Evander Kane wants to have a quality life, he's got to play good hockey. And he's doing that right now. What an opportunity for us. Plus 425 on the puck line, plus 150 on the money line, a plus 315 -1. I will take it. San Jose Sharks -1, plus 315. Beautiful. We move on to 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Nashville Predators at Dallas Stars. Nashville opens up as -115 favorites. That's moved to -120. I got them there as part of my -1. I got the -120. I would have preferred the -115. The total for this game, 5.5, juice to the under. That does make me want to take the over. Now, it opened at 5.5 at -125 to the under. That over was a plus money over, and it's not anymore. It's not anymore, and I won't move on it. But those of you who did, when you saw that plus number right away against the Dallas Stars team that's had all these COVID issues and starting the season, that was a good bet. And if I could have go back and get it, then I would. We're at American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. The Predators 2-1 on the year. This is their first road game. The Dallas Stars making their season debut. After sweeping the Blue Jackets at home to start the season, the Predators are coming off a 4-2 loss at home versus Carolina on Monday night. It's another great situation, and we'll see these throughout the hockey year. I love when a team has multiple days to soak in a loss. This team's had 3 nights to soak into that 4-2 defeat. They sweep the Blue Jackets. They feel good about themselves. They lose to Carolina at home and then sit in that stink of losing. Their first line of Victor Arvidsson, Ryan Johansson, and Philip Forsberg is off to a great start. A good start. Let's say good. And that's because of Arvidsson and Forsberg. Johansson still, I don't know where his head's at. He has 1 assist in 3 games. But Arvidsson and Forsberg have 3 points in 3 games. This team has size and speed. Not necessarily a bet-on team, but they're playing a team that I think we should fade until they prove us otherwise. This team went all the way to the Stanley Cup final, the Dallas Stars, and then they've had these COVID issues to start the season off. Late start. Tyler Seguin, Ben Bishop, Blake Como are all expected to be out due to COVID issues. John Klingberg is a game-time decision. I don't trust Jamie Benn to have this team ready to go. This is a tough task for Dallas. It's a tough task for the coaching staff. Is it all the Zoom meetings they've been having? Do you trust that? I don't. The Predators have so much to prove this year, and the Stars are coming off going to the Stanley Cup final. The Predators despise this Dallas Stars team. This is a real rivalry. And this is a chance for the Predators to kick this Dallas team while they're down. Nashville Predators on the -1 line gets me plus 136. That's a -120 money line and a plus 200 puck line. Using the puck line calculator, -1 at plus 136. We move on to the final game of the card, 10 p.m. Eastern. Colorado on my card. Colorado Avalanche at Anaheim Ducks. This is a really nice spot. This total's at 5.5, a -115. I can understand somebody wanting to go over it. I expect the Ducks to trap, and I'm not going to mess with a total right now. I like to wait a little longer before I start messing with totals, and the ROI I've had with totals early in the season is not good. also we're dealing with a full season without fans, and it changes things, and it becomes a little trickier. From a money line perspective, the Colorado Avalanche opened up at minus 220. They're now at minus 210. The puck line, which is where I will be moving on, opened up at plus 120. That's now between plus 130 and plus 136. I got them at plus 130 on the puck line. Avalanche 2-2, 1-1 on the road at the Ducks, 1-2-1, 1-1 at home. We're at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. The Avalanche are coming off an ugly 4-2 loss last night to the LA Kings. They get up 2-0 after the first. They feel good about themselves. They take their foot off the gas pedal, and even a weak team like the Kings will be able to build momentum, score a goal, and keep rolling. If you get complacent on the road, you will lose. So I think they coming back the following night, the second night of a back-to-back, is what I want. Get right back on the ice, get right back at it. They're an angry group. The last time they were angry like this was after losing opening night to the Blues 4-1. What'd they do? They came back 2 nights later and beat the Blues 8-0. This Avalanche team is the favorite to win the Stanley Cup, and they're sitting at 2-2. That's unacceptable. Craig Ramsey's not going to allow that to happen. This Avalanche team is going to come out angry. They're going to come out the way I came out capping this NHL card. No prisoners. I expect a similar response from the Avalanche as that second game of the season against the Blues. Now, the oft-injured Pavel Francouz is hurt. Hunter Miska started last night. They're number 3 goalie. So they have number 1 Philip Grubauer between the pipes. Andrei Burakovsky's hurt, but this team has so much depth up front. Nathan McKinnon has opened up with 7 points in 4 games. Mikko Rantanen has 5 points. This is a bounce-back smash spot. The Ducks have lost 3 of 4 to start the season. They're coming off a 3-2 loss at home to Minnesota, on Wednesday night. How is this team going to score? You look at their depth. I don't know how they're going to score. This team is going to be beautiful for unders all year. And that Minnesota Wild series was proof. Ryan Getzlaf was once a top 5 centerman in the NHL. He was once a top 3 centerman in the NHL. He's now 35, and his Corsi rankings make him the 63rd best centerman in the NHL. And he's not exactly being helped. He's got Sonny Milano on one side and Ricard Raquel on the other. They have the 29th ranked first line in the NHL. This team is badly in need of a lottery pick, and I expect that they're going to get one. The Avalanche are an angry group. I expect this to be an easy win for them. The Ducks are going to play tight, strong defensively, trappy. And that's not going to work against an extremely angry Avalanche team. Minus 1.5 at plus 130. Let's review my action. 5 games on the card. New York Rangers minus 1 at plus 277. Detroit Red Wings minus 1 at plus 249. San Jose Sharks minus 1 at plus 315. Nashville Predators minus 1 at plus 136. And Colorado Avalanche minus 1.5 at plus 130. Let's have a night tonight. Let's go. Let's go. I gave back my NHL profits. Now I want that money back. I expect to get it. Thank you for rolling with me here on odds.com. Let's get fucking paid. Let's get paid. Start this weekend off with winners. Not for this bullshit. NHL's our bread and butter. Let's milk that shit. Get paid in full.